Okay, so this is like a Mixamo site where you can download like these motion capture animations, and actually you can use them. This is like a motion capture data, so we can download this, whatever. And actually later on we can apply this for a on this human IK character that we've been rigged. Okay, so now just let me see if I did this correctly. Okay, so we have it here. So now we have this file here with our rig, and actually we'll try to import this Mixamo animation and apply it, transfer it to this rig. So in order to do that, we need to go to the human IK panel, and I'll just kind of save this scene and just save it just with another name. I'll just add like Mixamo. Okay, so keep in mind that actually for when we importing like not just the Mixamo character but actually the other skeletons, we just need to actually, it's preferable to have like a T-pose. So I download like the T-pose from the Mixamo site, and I will just drag and drop it into the viewport. Okay, now we have like this Mixamo character here, and as you can see, this is the geometry for the Mixamo character, and this is the skeleton for the Mixamo character. Okay. So in order to establish the connection between these two rigs, we need to characterize the Mixamo characters so that actually human IK understand which bone on a Mixamo character fits to appropriate joint on a human IK character. So to avoid the confusion, I'll just kind of rename the character. Now the character that we've just made was named character 1 by default, and I'll just rename the character and I'll call it like a human IK character. Or actually I will call it like alien human IK. Okay, so now I will hide like all the joints from the human IK, and I will also hide the alien geometry, which leaves us with the Mixamo rig. So I'll just hide the Mixamo geometry as well, and this is the rig that we're getting like from Mixamo. Okay, so first what we need to do, actually we need to characterize this rig, and actually we need to create a new character. So take a look at this. Now we have our character, and now I'll just switch here in the character section of the human IK UI. I'll just switch to none, and actually it will give me this menu, which enables me to create a skeleton control rig. But actually what we need to do, we need to kind of create a character definition. Okay, so I will click here, and now we're getting this this panel for characterizing like the skeleton. And characterization should be a simple process because it just kind of requires for me to just double click on the desired bone and actually select it in the viewport to say to the human IK, okay, for the left arm, read the inputs from this joint. So I will continue. You can see that actually the symmetry button is pressed, so it means that actually if the naming convention is right, which is in this case, it allows me to select just the left or the right side of the skeleton, and it will be characterized. So I'll just double click here and continue with the characterization process. Okay, so double click in this case on the root joint and then click on the root joint in viewport. Okay, we have like these joints for a spine, so I'll double click on the spine and click on the next joint in the chain. And since we have like a couple of more joints here, you can enter here like and continue with the selection process. Okay, now we're having a neck and the head, so I'll just kind of click here and open the neck section, double click and actually select the neck, and for the head I'm just going to double click on the head and select the head joint. Okay, now for the shoulders as well, so I'm just going to click here on the left shoulder and click on this bone. Keep in mind, since the human IK or this characterization tool actually applies symmetry, it will automatically switch on the symmetrical shoulder, just to show you that you actually successfully did the characterization of the other part as well. So now I'll double click on the leg. Okay, on the foot as well. Now you can see, even though I didn't finish characterization for the finger, we have this validation status green, which means that we are having like enough bone for the basic characterization. However, I just want to include like this part as well. And now we're just left with the hardest part, and this is to do the fingers. So since these joints are too large, I'll just go to the display animation joint size and actually try to scale down the joint size so that I can perceive these fingers a little bit better. Okay, so now we will kind of enter into the hand section, and I'll just try to orient this hand like it is in the viewport. And this is the tricky part. Always when I kind of done with my selection, the human IK is going to switch me to the opposite arm, so I always need to go back, so be careful with that one. So I'll just double click and select the bone, and now as you can see, it brought me back to the opposite arm. So I need to kind of get out of there, go inside of this proper arm here, and do this for each click, which is slightly annoying, but actually this is how it works. Okay. So now we did pretty much everything. Okay. And now, since we did the characterization, if you have like main control, you can also characterize this as well by pressing here on the reference. However, we don't have it here, and I guess we won't be needing it. So when you finish the characterization, you can actually lock it here. Okay. If you want to actually save this for later, you can go here on this menu, edit character definition, and save character definition template, so that you don't have to select all of these bones once again, so that you can load characterization. However, you might encounter the problem sometimes. And since we are here, let us rename this character immediately, and we'll call it like a Mixamo character. I'll just hit OK. And actually now I want to hide everything. So geometry first, then actually alien geometry. And now you can see we can switch between the characters here in this section, in this character section. So we can kind of go back to the alien human IK character, and I'll just kind of make my controls visible, just that we can actually make a difference, spot the difference between those two rigs. So now, as you can see, this alien character has been driven by the control rig, what you can see here in the source. However, we can also make this character driven by a stance pose, but in this case, since we characterize the Mixamo character, now we can say here, let us, our Mixamo character, drive the human IK. So now if I select the part of the skeleton of Mixamo character, so you can see when I move the Mixamo character's arm, actually the alien character will follow. Okay. So this is like a basic thing how you do a characterization and how you can actually transfer the output from one skeleton into human IK.